Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be sharing with you a requested video from my group on how to cut this stylish cowl neck dress with flare, and this dress is from T Couture on TikTok. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive right into today's video. So first, here is my pattern paper, and the first measurement we need is our shoulder to bust, shoulder to other bust, and shoulder to waistline, then the full length of your dress. But first we are going to cut out the upper part of the dress, and let's say the full length of the dress is 60 inches. Now at the upper part, you mark your shoulder divided by 2, come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope, and you're going to go ahead to connect. From there, I'm going to go ahead to find my chest line, and to do that is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So mine is 7, and I went ahead to draw out a straight line on that pattern. Next, I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder divided by 2, and I'm going to go ahead to place this, and I'll draw out a straight line. After this, I'll go ahead to divide what I have at the armhole into 2, and I'll be coming in by ½ inch. From there, I'll connect down, and to this point I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4 and connect. After I'm done connecting at this part, the next step you want to take is to mark your basic neckline, which you'll be using to cut out your pattern. And after that, I'll go ahead to insert my body measurement. And for this dress, you don't need a dart. I'll go ahead to mark this out. At the bust, I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4, add my sewing allowance. At the under bust, I'll mark my under bust circumference divided by 4, add my sewing allowance. Here I'll mark my waist circumference divided by 4, and I'll add my sewing allowance. So next, I'm going to go ahead to cut out this pattern, and the back pattern stopped at the under bust also. You should also take note of that. I'll just go ahead and I will connect my pattern all the way to the lower part. After I'm done connecting that, I want to go ahead to cut this out, because this is the part of the pattern you'll be using. You will use this for both the cutting of your front and your back pattern. So when I was cutting, I was not supposed to cut out the neckline. I was also supposed to measure out the neckline of the back. So I mistakenly cut that out. I'll just go ahead to place it. And for the back neckline, I'll be using a basic neckline of 3 inches by 1.5, or you can also use 3 inches by 1 inch. It totally depends on how fitted you want it to be at the neckline. So I'll just go ahead and measure what I have there, which is roughly 4 inches, and I'll keep that measurement aside. So I'll go ahead and place this on another pattern paper, and we are going to trace out this measurement. So the neckline, I'll be using 2.5, and I'll connect it to the armhole. But I went ahead to reconnect this because what we have extended all the way close to the under bust pattern. So you want to go ahead and place this on another pattern and go ahead to pin it down at the lower part. Now I'll just go ahead and go down a bit from my bust point by 1 inch and connect it back to the bust point. And after that, I'll use my marker to connect. After I'm done connecting, I'll just go ahead and cut this out. After I'm done cutting it out, I'll open this pattern this way because of the cowl neckline. So the more opening you have, the more draping you will have in front of your dress. So I'm just leaving it this way, and I'll make notes or mark where my shoulder starts from, and I'll reconnect this and connect it all the way to the lower part. Now at the shoulder point, you want to go ahead to draw a straight line. That is why we made a mark, to indicate where our neckline started. So next, you want to go ahead and cut out this pattern. So you can also add that extension at once at the back, but if you're not too sure with the measurement, you can just go ahead to leave it and join your collar, the neckline of the back to the front. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. After I'm done cutting this out, we're going to go ahead to unpin this, and we're going to adjust the armhole part of this dress. So the new pattern is our front, and also for the back, if you want yours to start here, you can just chop off what we have at the upper part of this pattern this way, and it will meet the armhole side. Just go ahead to trim it off, but because of what we are working with is lower, I'll just go ahead to trim this off this way. So you have your back pattern very revealing like this, and this is the back pattern of your cow neck dress, and this is the front pattern. Remember to cut this on fold also. So now for the extension of the back, you're going to add 2 or 1.5 inches for your zipper allowance when you're using this pattern to cut. So now let's go over to the neckline of the back, which is about 2.5 inches at the shoulder point. So remember, for the curve or the neckline of the back, we measured about 4 inches. I'll place my tape having around 4 inches on a semi-round circle. Now I'll measure these 2.5 inches we have at the shoulder part, and I'll connect it. So just like I said earlier, you can cut your shoulder together, or you can just cut it and attach it later. Whichever one that works for you is still okay, but I made sure I had to use a curve at this part because of the neckline of the back. So you can pin this as one pattern and cut it together. So this part at the center will be the part that will be dropping as the cow neckline, and this is the neckline of the dress. So after this, we'll be cutting out the flare part of the dress. So for the flare part, I already have a pattern. So what you need is the waist measurement of your dress plus a zipper allowance. Depending on the zipper allowance you're using, that is after you're done turning your dress. If you use a zipper allowance of 1.5 inches, after turning your dress, you'll be left with 1 inches. So your waist circumference plus your zipper allowance, my waist is 28, my zipper allowance is 1.5 inches. After turning it up, I have 2 inches on both sides. That is 1 inch remaining 2 inches. So for a 180-degree flare, you're going to fold your pattern into 2 or a triangle this way, so that your waistline divided by 2. Mine is 30 because we are going to have a slit in front. You're going to add half inch on both sides, making it 31 divided by 2, you have 15.5. Place your tape and draw a rough circle, a rough curve having that 15.5 inches. Find it on your pattern paper or on your fabric this way. So after you're done marking that, you want to go ahead to place this from the upper part to the lower part. That is where you have that circle where it started, and you're going to use the measurement you have at that point, and you're going to take it all the way around. I don't know if you understand. If you also have a question, please go ahead to ask your question. So after drawing this, I'll go ahead to mark this out. So the next step you want to take is to go ahead to find the length of your dress. So the shoulder to waistline is 17 inches minus the full length. So our full length is 60 inches minus 17, we have 43 inches, and I'll use that to make a circle, and I'll be taking it all the way around. So after taking this round, this is what I have on my pattern, and I'm going to go ahead to cut it out. So this is a 180-degree flare. So the next one we'll be cutting out is a 360-degree flare. After cutting this, go ahead to slit it at one side of your front. Give you the slit we have at the side, and then you join it back with half inch. For a 360-degree flare, you're going to fold this into 4. You fold with 1, and then you go ahead to fold again. After folding this, you're going to use that same measurement, which is your round waist measurement plus your zipper allowance. And because this dress has a sleeve, you're also going to add that. That is your waist circumference. Mine is 28. Your zipper allowance, making it 30. 1 inch on both sides after turning, and then half inch on both sides for joining of the slits, making it 31. If you divide 31 by 2, you will have 15.5. So I'll place my tape and draw out a rough curve that is about 15.5 inches. So now I'll take my tape now, and I will measure from one side to the other side where that curve stops. So any measurement I have there is what I'll use, and I'll mark it all the way around. So after I'm done marking this out, I'll go ahead to draw it out. Next, I'll go ahead to insert my skirt length, and we already have our skirt length, which is 43 inches. So I'll just go ahead to take it from that place and mark it all around. So this is not our exact waist length. I'm just using this as a guide to cut out that lower part. So after you're done cutting this, you're going to have a full circle and you're going to cut this out and also cut out the lower part, and you're going to cut it open on one side. So when you're about to join the skirt, determine the side that you want to have the slit and you cut this out and join it back. So with this, we have come to the end of today's video.